Run fits, and we're going to continue. And, if we got to do good on good a little bit more in practice, just so we can fit our run fits, we feel we got a good offensive line. So, to go against our defense with good running backs and, making sure we're fitting. And, that's on any defense. You look at Pitt, reason their defense, consistency. Coach Bates has been there 7 years. Coach Narduzzi's a defensive guy. He's been running that defense since 2007 at Michigan State, and they do it very well. They play four down, they play quarters, and they do it well, and they blitz you. And we're looking for that consistency that, you got to build the confidence. You got to teach. You got to show off film. I wish I had a magic wand and you can fix things right away. But guess what? It takes time. We're in the process, the sense of urgency each day to get better. Do I believe in our kids? I do. It's fixable. And, the quicker we can do it, then we can reach our fullest as a football team.
Do you feel like there'll be any small or significant changes made this week personnel-wise?
Well, you got to earn it every day. And our kids know this, that I can teach you and I can keep showing you and I can keep showing you. And if we don't get it fixed, you know what that's called? Insanity. So, whether that's personnel, whether that's us doing something maybe a little different. And, those are the things that's always a work in progress. I don't want to turn on and keep seeing explosives, not seeing, a 200-yard rusher that had 2 carries for, 140 of it. So, those are the things, but, it's designed to have guys in those gaps. So we're finding the guys that can get in those gaps. And our kids know you got to earn it. In the game of football at Youngstown State, you got to earn it. You got to earn it in practice. You got to earn it each and every Saturday. And you got to come out with the effort and attitude, every day to get better and to show us that you're understanding that.
What has been, since Saturday when you guys came back Sunday and Monday, what's been the response you've kind of seen from the team?
Well, it's all about the response. And I felt like, okay, we're going to see on Sunday. I liked how our kids responded because in life, whether you win or lose, there's going to be disappointments in life, real life, not just in football, but real life. And it's how you respond. So for me, that's a mark of character, and to see the response we had for a Tuesday practice, I really liked it. I really did, all the way maybe till the end. Where I lost something, but, the tempo of practice, the physicality of practice, the transitions was probably one of the best practices. And I look back to last week, I thought we had a great preparation. So again, it's just building that confidence to be able to do it from individual, to do it to group work, to do it to teamwork, to be able to do it on Saturday afternoons. And we're going to keep working and getting it because guess what? Each Saturday we get a game to go out there and see how much better we can play.
Maybe not trying to do too much, but forcing some things or kind of what's his.
What, based on his one interception?
Well, the interception.
Dana?
Off the back foot a little bit.
It was, that's fundamentals, and he knows he needs to work on that. And, it's one of those where, you have fundamentals and you're moving out of the pocket, you're throwing off your back foot, the ball slips where, we work on that in practice. It's a timing route, get the ball out, and he's as disappointed, but when you do fundamentals, the hard thing is when it's under pressure, can you still do those fundamentals? And you can look even on Sunday afternoons and see it at the highest level. Sometimes those fundamentals break down when people are coming at you. So we're going to continue to work on those. He's disappointed. Situation, he knows situation in the game, red zone, first down. We got to take care of the football. We take care of the football there. Yeah. Not one play wins or loses you a game. It's an accumulation. I showed him 17 plays that, we need to get corrected for us to be a good football team. And I think we can get it corrected.
This program, yourself, no stranger to playing on this stage against opponents like this.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of new guys in this program, too, that this may be their first
Yeah.
time. How do you address it with them?
As quickly as we possibly can. So we do. We got everything's new. We got new faces. But how we prepare each and every week, we prepare the same no matter if we're playing Duquesne to Pitt to South Dakota State. It's about our preparation. You put a plan together to execute that plan. Is it on a bigger stage? Yeah, we're playing one of the best teams in the country right now that's undefeated, that beat two, their backdoor rival in West Virginia and beat Cincinnati being down 24-3. So, we're playing a very good football team and we got to play our best. We cannot make the mistakes we made this past Saturday. We got to take care of the football. We got to, when there's opportunities to score touchdowns, we got to be able to do that. And you want to talk about explosives, they got number 0 there in the backfield. It kind of reminds me of a guy we had that's playing for the Broncos right now in number 8. So, the run fits. You might be in the gap, but, if you remember what number 8, sometimes they make you miss too, even if you're in that gap. So they got some very talented football players and they're putting it together. I told our kids today they were 3-9 last year. They have their 3-win total of what they did last year. And what did they do? They got better. They went and coached better. They went and maybe recruited and got players. Again, in football, you have an opportunity to keep growing. And there's a team that shows you, how they ended the season to how they're playing now. It's remarkable. I give Coach Narduzzi all the credit. They went to an offense I know he probably never planned on running in his life, where they're running a play every 15 seconds. And defensive coaches sometimes don't like that.
Has NIL and the transfer portal narrowed the gap from FCS to FBS schools?
Yeah, they got 3 starters from FCS schools. They brought the offensive coordinator from Western Carolina. So the Desmond Reed, number 0, the young man we talked about, guess where he came from? Western Carolina. 2 of their starting wide receivers, came from Western Carolina. So right now, I do believe, unless you're the top money programs in the country, I think it's very balanced across the country, all teams, because of the open free agency, open portal, things of that sort, that, teams can also now bring in a quarterback that was a top 30 player in the country 2 years ago, and he's a redshirt freshman and throws for 2 games for over 600 yards. So, the opportunities to do that present itself, and they did a great job in this offseason of finding those players.
So you know Pat, you know him for X amount of years. He's from that. So
Mm-hmm.
Maybe fun isn't the right word, but is it exciting to coach against someone you know as well as him?
You go into every game, and, I know Coach Narduzzi. If we're interviewing for new coaches, we may talk. I don't, hang out or have that personal relationship, but I do have the utmost respect for him, and knowing where he's been and working with maybe people that I know he's worked with. But I love going against a great program. I love going against coaches that are good. That's the only way you get better. This game Saturday is going to make us better, and it's going to prepare us better, for our league. And with that being said, you go into every game to win a game. We did that last year against Ohio State, did it the year before against Kentucky, the year before against Michigan State. It falls week 4 this year, which is a little later than normal. But to go on the stage, I grew up in Wexford when we were little before we moved here. My first remembrance of football was the Steel Curtain and Pittsburgh Steelers. So, to go back and play in that stadium, I think all of our kids, will appreciate that. And I want to give that opportunity to our kids. And it's our job to make sure our kids are ready to play a very good football team.
You talked about 2011 when the Penguins went down there and won.
Yeah, we always do a history lesson each week, no matter who we're playing, of, past games. And, our kids learned, lessons of, maybe 2017, 2012, 2009, 2005. We go over that every week on a Tuesday practice. We do a brief introduction. I want our kids to know Coach Narduzzi. His father was the 3rd coach here. Took the 1979 team to Division II finals. That's history. And I want them to understand that this isn't just a game. This is where I heard Pat say he was a ball boy in 3rd grade on the sidelines of Youngstown State. So I said, it means something to him, just like it means something to all of us to go down there and be able to play a great Pittsburgh team in Steeler Stadium is pretty unique.
How important will it be from a leadership standpoint for the strength of the offensive line to make sure that Bo's protected on Saturday?
Yeah, we had some breakdowns, which was very uncharacteristic in the third and fourth quarter. And, this team brings pressure. They're a vertical defensive line. You turn on the tape, those defensive linemen are getting vertical upfield. They got defensive ends that play wide that are coming after you. And then they bring a variety of blitzes at you. And you got to get rid of the football quick. You can't hold it. You can't just sit back there and play around. So you got to have a clock in your head to get rid of the football, and we got to do things in our protections. We got to do things to make sure that he has options to get rid of that ball, especially if they're coming with pressure. We don't want our quarterback to get hit. And, so our protection, we got to grow. We got experienced offensive line that was very uncharacteristic to see 4 down sacks on Saturday, and those are what we got to correct. So we're putting a heavy emphasis on that protection and doing what we need to do because it's going to come at us a lot faster this Saturday.